Well, the coronation of the new Oni is a watershed in the history of the Yoruba land generally, and Ife in particular. Now, because they have a leader now, that will... Simply put, Gura is a beautiful countryside with awesome landscapes. If something differently will be done to the Nigerian textile industries, that our youth will be employed. Attend the church here can tell you.
Service in Holy Rosa is in the
We are taking a canoe tour of the communities on the bank of River Niger in Kesu. I had a distant impression of Yankari. I had a vision of it as an overhyped game reserve. True. Yankari enjoys remarkable public relations. In fact, to many people across Nigeria, no mention of Bauchi State is ever made without a quick thought on Yankari. So, when I took a visit to the area, I never felt my journey would be eventful. You talked of altered perception. Yankari is a national endowment, natural, rich and breathtaking. It is amazing whether the Bauchi State government or even the federal government understand what a gem they have here. Yankari is essentially a wildlife conservation center. However, it is host to scores of historical monuments and landscapes whose stories are hardly ever been told. Perhaps this explains why Yankari doubles as a research center, research for wildlife, and for scores of civilization that once flourished within its vast stretch in the time past. They left behind spectacular landmarks, original and wonderful. Within all this are naturally occurring springs with the unique landscapes and temperatures no lover of nature will ever want to miss. Scarcely do my colleagues fancy following me on my journeys, especially to the northeast. On this occasion, Fatima Abbas Hassan, our inimitable network newscaster, was in the bus with us. We had an amusing start life in Yankari. This mother baboon was shadowing me over a packet of biscuit I bought. When I wanted to share it with her, she fraudulently collected it from me whole. Unlike me, however, she refused to share even with her suckling babe. I know mothers to be selfless, but I take exception to mother baboons. Yankari Game Reserve is 2,244 square kilometers. This vast land area supports an amazing array of wildlife.
Yankari is the premier game reserve of West Africa. And for now, I don't think there's any reserve that beats Yankari in Africa. We can talk of Kenya, you can talk of other places. There's most of it are artificial. Ours is a natural endowment. I think you've seen it. Everything about Yankari is natural, apart from the buildings.
All animal life in the reserve are indigenous to the area. They are holistically wild. Any domestic animal within its confines is stray. The ecosystem is sacrosanct. Nothing to be defiled, nothing to be killed. There is actually a museum in the reserve which reflects the wildlife content of the area. I am taken, however, by a huge carcass of elephant kept in the museum.
There are some people that they will not know that we have elephant. But if they come here, they will know that we have elephant. Even if they didn't see them live, they can see their carcass here. And these are the carcass of an elephant and the skull. This is the skull of an elephant.
Okay, but tell me, You do have problem. Why do they come in dead? Old age, poaching, and other things. What happened?
Well, there's a poaching, but there's a natural death too. There are some people that they normally used to come and kill the animal illegally. So when they kill them, we have to carry those carcasses and keep it in the museum.
The administrative block building of Yankari is a fertile foraging ground for many wildlife. There are always troops of baboons on endless daytime movement around the building in search for food. There are units of watchdogs too, foraging for food on baboons' turf. There was an elaborate arrangement for us, however, to traverse through this endless reserve to capture as many wildlife in their natural habitat as we can. The prospect of seeing a lion in the wild, untamed and unchained, thrilled me, but I offered silent prayers against surprises. It is day one, and we had clear skies. All of us were looking on either side of the road to see what manner of wildlife would come across. We captured images of some exotic ones. We missed many, however, who launched a near supersonic speed to escape us, no thanks to the disruptive noise of our vehicle. It is part of the plan that on this first day we visit the Marshall Caves. The road leading to the cave is flagrantly scenic. We stopped to capture the refreshing breeze emanating from the area. In all its beauty and vastness, there are no human settlements within the confines of Yankari Game Reserve. I presume it is not a marketable idea that human beings should find shelter where lions prowl. There are proofs, however, that in time past, human beings settled in different sections of Yankari. The Marshall Caves are one such evidence of human settlement.
This place is a place where ancient people used to hide during slavery. Actually, it is a man dug this cave. We have about 59 caves. By then, if they were here, there is nobody that he know that somebody is here, because the place is too thick and silent.
Marshall Caves are a collection of 59 caves, only discovered in 1982 at the heart of the reserve. They are all up on hills and mountains. These caves are distributed along the spread of winding hilly structure. All are far from the ground. Yankari is a place of 59 caves, 59 beautiful caves with different designs. In these caves, all these caves are architectural masterpieces. You will be amazed that there is upstairs here, a low-story building if you like it. And then there are those on the ground floor. Many of them are clustered. Some of them are separate. All of them beautiful, giving you various vistas, giving you various opportunities to do a lot of things. Standing here, I have a beautiful picture of some of these caves, obviously. Oh my God.
Those caves, actually it's a settlement of the community. And they settle here purposely just to hide themselves. Okay. And they can even have, even their emir palace. I will go and show you down there.
Okay. It is obvious, even in ancient times, there will never be a community without a chief. Now, those caves belong to the community. This cave belongs to the chief. In fact, the chief has not only a cave, he also has an underground chamber. A chief he is by all means. These chambers are supposed to accommodate his harems and probably attend to most of the subjects that may be coming to him. But the most interesting aspect of this place is that there are even seats, stone seats, which are seating people that are coming to the court, and in fact, which are seating the king himself. There are fears that many of the caves may give in over time for want of maintenance. In many of them, birds make a home. As we make our way out of Marshall Cave, our guide leads us now to a naturally occurring phenomena, the Maulgo Warm Spring. Yankari Game Reserve is an environment rich in water bodies, rivers, lakes, and warm springs. In fact, there are 3 different warm springs in Yankari, all with varying degrees of temperatures. The Maulgo Warm Spring is at a 2 degrees constant, and no matter the changes in the atmosphere, the water remains the same. This water, surprisingly perhaps, has rich fish life and is used for medicinal purposes too. Now look at this. Look at the source of this. There is a depth here. That is one of the openings of the river. It's very, very deep. In fact, see this stick. Let me show you how deep it can be. You see, I'm still going in, and the stick is still going down. It's so deep. In fact, I'm afraid. I don't know how to swim, so I don't want to risk my life. But that is one of the springs. That is one of the evidence. There is another one here.
Yes.
There is another one here. It is still the spring, the source where it is coming out from. And then there is another one here. They are all coming out from a rocky profile that is in this place. This is the source of the water. Just you have to clean it. You will find from where it is coming. This is it. It's a rocky area. It's a rocky profile, and the water is coming directly out of the rock. That is the nature of it. So it is a rock water. It is warm, it never changes, and it links up with the river as it makes its trajectory to River Benue. Here you can see the division of the warm water on the one side, which looks bluer, and then the water from the river looking very much redder. There is also the weak warm spring, emanating within the confines of Yankari administrative area. It is in fact the most known of the 3 warm springs, and the one that receives most people. It is 31 degrees centigrade. What does it mean to be 31 degrees centigrade in a water for bathing? So join me. Well, I pulled my legs. Well, it is like it is being tepid, but then that is as beautiful as it can. But the story I should like to tell you is far beyond the warmth or the label of the warmth of this place. It is the origination of the whole water itself. It emanates under this rock, an igneous rock it is, under a very deep valley, and the water is cascading down. As you see it cascading, you can see that an element of the warmth circulating like water is boiling. That is its natural point. Many people cannot say exactly from where it is coming, but then this is the rock in which it is coming. So from here it is running. It's running water that is linking up with the River Benue and terminating maybe at the Atlantic. But then this is the interesting place. Another interesting thing I should like to tell you is the valley. On top of it are trees, beautiful trees, elegant if you ask me. And then obviously the igneous rock that is threatening to fall under you. How beautiful it can be for a place of tourism. How nice for somebody who wants to relax. I have my fascination with the location of this warm spring. It is in a deep valley. The scenery may have been playing a key role in attracting people to it. We made a point of the source of this warm spring water under this rock that is a feature of the deep valley. The water is packaged here to allow visitors to have a go at it, but it is running water, covering distances, and emptying at this river to link up with the River Benue.
This water is coming from the spring that we...
Okay, let's see. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, this is it?
Yeah. You can see how he flowed down to that river.
Oh.
And from there, they will go down, just down to in between Taraba and Plateau State. From there, then they move to the river Benue.
Okay, so that's a big river?
Yeah, that's their complaints.
While still on the subject of water in Yankari, however, at the extension of River Gaji, deep into the Yankari forest, there is this water point where wildlife come to drink. Our guide told us it is more so a dry season, when other water sources in the reserve dried up. The river here flows all year round. We couldn't run into any wildlife at the water point, but the curator showed us droppings of some animals who may have just left while we are coming along. Crucially, however, the river basin is of medicinal significance to the wildlife.
Along the canals of free-flowing River Gaji, as it makes its move to River Benue, it's a place that they call the Salt Lake. Well, it is a lake because of the flowing River Gaji, obviously. But off it, on the terraces, is a naturally occurring salt. This salt becomes like a clinic for the hundreds of the wildlife that is around this area. They come here to lick it, to heal many of the wounds or to heal many of the ailments that they may be suffering. You talk of nature and its clinic. Well, these are the models of the salts that is found around this area, which I told you is naturally occurring, and which is serving like a pharmacy for the animals. And it's like the animals are themselves own doctors. They don't need any consultant to recommend things for them. They just naturally take it.
Exactly.
It is getting late, so we return to bathe on this first day. We left home early in the morning on day 2. Our destination is Amfara, a 6-hour journey from our base. Amfara is a place of ancient civilization. The people of old still had their iron smelting furnaces there as evidence of their life. We were in good spirit, reinforced by sightings of different species of wildlife. It seems like today will atone for yesterday. Despite the joy of our sightings, the journey had been challenging. We struggled with the trees and shrubs and stubborn flies who bite and bite all journey long. Soon we encountered a more challenging moment. Our vehicle is stuck in mud and in a thick bush where wildlife patrol. It is almost 3 hours away from home. All the crew, including our women content, were up and doing to free our vehicle from the clutch of this mud. I saw a picture of Fatima Abbas Hassan cutting trees with her left hand. My cameraman had to abandon his camera to offer a helping hand too. The rescue operation is on. We had some luck that after being stuck for over 2 hours here, we moved the rear tires out, but the front tires hooked. It was another labor. Mercifully, it was freedom at last. We continued on our journey to Amfara. The nature of the road had just been the same. Sensationally, when we arrived here, our vehicle couldn't execute the climb. It uncontrollably cascaded backward. I had given that the motor will go down with us. It did not, but its engine is off, and that means trouble. For the period we are stuck at Tantabara, the engine was on, because if the engine goes off, you need combination of prayers, hard work, and mechanical abracadabra for it to start. Our work has been cut out for us. After 2 hours of manipulation and pushing, the old lady raved into life, but we abandoned it to allow the driver make the climb alone. Eventually, we arrived at Ampara, the location of the iron smelting furnaces.
Mohammed Aladi.
Mohammed Aladi.
Yes.
Ampara iron smelting ore.
Yeah.
What is special about it?
This place, as we call him, Ampara iron melting furnace.
I should like you to speak louder.
It's a place where ancient people used to make iron.
Okay.
And before making this iron, they are using like a iron ore, charcoal, and sand. Then they mix it, and from here you can see the hole where they are using this heat pipe to put it under here. It's a smoking place. Okay. The smoke will be here, and the sand, charcoal, and the other iron ore, they are here. Then later on, after 1 hour or more than that, you can even see the iron coming out through this hole. That is why you can see this place shining. It's an iron.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, tell me, how many years are we talking about?
According to our research people, what they were saying is now it's getting to 200 years ago.
I have my fear with these monuments. They are going down to vagaries of the weather. I'm afraid that despite their historical significance, they may disappear over time. Tell me, are this the original one? Are this the one that has been there since that 200 years?
Yeah, this is an original one. It was here up to 200 years.
It's like this, Aladi. You can see they are breaking. I'm afraid if it continues like this, in the next 2-3 years, we may not find these places again.
And that is why we don't want any people to come and enter the bush illegally. You know, there are some people that normally used to come to the bush illegally, like hunters or grazers.
My intention was largely to show that Yankari was more than just a wildlife conservation center, but is also home to ancient settlements and civilizations, whose vision is as repression of the wildlife content. It is amazing, however, how the authorities of this reserve are able to monitor the whole scope of the environment against poaching and against intrusion. There are no settlements inside the reserve, all right, but there are neighbors.
In conservation where the surrounding community is poor.
So
it's very tough job. It's fighting people's livelihood. Some of these poachers inherited poaching from hunting from their fathers. Some of them are doing it because this is where they get their protein from. So it's kind of a tough job that you have to do. But when you do it right and over time, and when you know how to work with the community and you carry them along, over time they understand what you are doing, and we can tell you that we have some rangers that were poachers turned to rangers to help to protect Yankari.
So in specific situation in Yankari, where we are now, what are you doing differently with these poor communities who are thirsty for protein and who are poor, you know, to bring them into the thinking of the conservation ideas that you have? What were you able to do differently and achieve it?
Anyway, so one of the first steps we took was train the rangers. Give them the appropriate training, work closely with the government, make sure they have the tools they need to be properly armed, to be equipped, to use technology, because its conservation now is shifting from just hard work, it's also working smart.
Yeah. True, it will be arrogant of me to fancy that I can tell the story of Yankari all alone and at once. In fact, I miss to tell the story of Duki wells. They are a collection of 132 wells linked together, which serve water needs of travelers, settlers, and livestock over 300 years ago. They are there within the reserve. In the meantime, it is getting to nightfall in Yankari, and we had a last sighting of this group of antelopes.